I hope you enjoyed this beautiful weekend that we just had, because the weather pattern is going to change pretty quickly for the cooler and for the wetter. And yeah, Tuesday is a first alert weather day now. Good afternoon, I'm meteorologist Erin Ashley, 19 at 6, and we're going to be starting with that first alert weather day, why we have decided to issue it, and what we know and don't know about that forecast. So again, this is going to be for Tuesday, May 20th, 2 days from today, and here are your headlines. The timing is going to be from the late afternoon into the evening, and it's going to be because of the potential for storms, of which could be severe. It's not a slam dunk. It's nothing like Friday, and there is a lesser chance for tornadoes than there is anything else. But there is still the risk for damaging winds, hail, and localized flooding as well. So it's your typical spring storm setup. I'm going to show you what the storm risk looks like right now to give you an idea of where we are and where we stand across the region as well, because not only is this going to be an event for us, but it's especially going to be an event for those south of us in general. Notice we're on the very top edge of this risk, this slight risk for severe weather. Again, this is for Tuesday evening. Kind of looks like an avocado, kind of funny, but at the same time, those down towards Kentucky, parts of Kentucky that was just hit by those deadly tornadoes, they are closer to that enhanced risk of severe weather. But the good news for us here in the tri-state area is that enhanced risk, that next level up, if you will, on the Storm Prediction Center's range from 1 to 5, well, it's all the way in Tennessee. Again, we're on the very top edge of this storm risk, this slight storm risk. And then you'll notice parts of the viewing area have a marginal risk for severe weather. And I was bringing this up yesterday. There is a chance that if heat doesn't make it this far north into the tri-state, we could just be looking at some heavy rain at times. It's one of those forecasts where it's kind of all or nothing. It really depends on how far north that warm front is able to travel. Storm Prediction Center and us here at Fox 19 are going to be erring on the side of caution, saying, hey, if you live south of Cincinnati, within the 275 loop, you just want to keep Tuesday evening in mind. It's not going to be a slam dunk, but it's definitely going to impact those Tuesday evening plans, whether that be in the form of potentially severe weather or just breezy showers, both of which are going to be possible. So let's waste no time, get right into what we're looking at here for your Tuesday. We're actually going to start with Monday, because Monday, you'll notice yesterday, compared to yesterday, it's a lot drier, which is good. We can soak in Monday, really enjoy it. There is the slightest chance of a shower southwest of Cincinnati, but between yesterday and today, I've noticed that trend dropping. I think most of us are going to have to wait until Tuesday, and this model is agreeing with me. Notice we end the day on Monday nice and sunny. That's going to serve as fuel there for some showers, of which the first round is going to be arriving Tuesday morning. This is not the severe batch that we're watching, or the potentially severe batch. Got to watch my words there. That'll push into the tri-state from the southwest to the northeast starting about 10 o'clock in the morning. Again, this is going to be a rainmaker, maybe some embedded thunderstorms, but you're going to have to wait until the afternoon to actually get that chance for something stronger. So here's 2 o'clock Tuesday evening. Here's 3. Notice what's brewing down south towards Owenton. The deeper reds, the oranges coming into the mix. Downpours, hail cores, maybe some gusty winds. I wouldn't be surprised if that area down towards Owenton, Dry Ridge, and Falmouth, that's actually where we see some warnings being issued for Tuesday evening. But notice if you live towards Lebanon, Middletown, Wilmington, just north of the Cincinnati metro, you're going to see this isn't that impressive for you guys. That's why it's not a slam dunk forecast in which everyone is under a slight risk for severe weather. You guys are under a marginal risk. So I'll walk you through the afternoon here. Notice the thunderstorms kind of staying south of the area. So that's round number 1. Here's 6 o'clock. We're going to be watching between all of that action that I just broke down for you guys. Yeah, there's a chance for some sun in between, and that would just ignite batch number 2, which this, my friends, is going to be our greatest concern for any of these stronger to severe thunderstorms coming into the mix. Again, this is dependent on how warm we get Tuesday afternoon. We need that instability. We need that storm fuel. And again, this is not as impressive. The numbers are not as impressive as what we were looking at on Friday. Keep that in the back of your mind. So chances for severe weather increase the farther south you are of Cincinnati. But here in Cincinnati, do expect some downpours as well. These showers, this cluster of thunderstorms, if you will push east around 10 o'clock and then exit the area closer to about 11, maybe as late as midnight. Of course, we're still 2 days out from this first alert weather day, so more than likely the timing will be changed just a little bit, but plan for the afternoon, the evening to bring in a cluster of thunderstorms, 2 different batches of them. The first one will affect how the second one behaves. Just another piece of food for thought. So, like I mentioned, even outside of the potential for gusty winds, hail, and even the isolated tornado, this is still a rainmaker, even if you don't get that, or even if you don't get enough juice for these storms to work with. And you'll see the totals here climbing even north towards Westchester, northern Claremont County, where we have that marginal risk for severe weather. You'll still get an inch of rain likely on Tuesday, with that line of showers and thunderstorms racing from west to east. It's a decent rainmaker, but you'll notice the higher rainfall totals are south of Cincinnati, kind of matching and mirroring where that slight risk of severe weather is also going to be. And then our model doing what she does best and not performing for me when I want her to, but Wednesday's another chance of rain in the forecast. It brings another chance of rain. Thankfully, because we're looking at much cooler temperatures on Wednesday, I think it's just going to be mainly rain, maybe a little bit of thunder coming into the mix, but nothing severe. Just rain on top of Tuesday's rain. You might be dealing with some high water, localized flooding too. And the winds. You'll notice the winds heading into this work week. Not Monday, but Tuesday. And these gusts are going to be about 30 miles per hour outside of any thunderstorms. Within those thunderstorms, we do think that they're going to be at least 40 miles per hour, if not greater than that. You know, your severe wind gusts definitely possible. That'll be Tuesday. So Wednesday is a little bit more breezy, widespread wind gusts up to about 40, maybe even 45 miles per hour. You just can't rule that one out. And the winds that'll be kicking on through, they're going to be a little bit more from the north, and so it's bringing in cooler air. It's still going to be a little bit on the rainy side. Perhaps it's going to feel a little bit more like a cold rain rather than a spring rain. So if I had to compare it, maybe more like a March rain rather than a May rain. This is Wednesday, and then we get into Thursday, so kind of like Tuesday, just get rid of the storms, 30 mile per hour wind gusts possible there. All right, and then we wrap up your work week. Good news is it's looking drier and drier, but it's still going to be a little bit on the cooler side into that Memorial Day weekend, and you'll see that here in that first alert extended forecast. Again, tomorrow's going to be great. There is the slightest chance of a shower southwest of Cincinnati, I think, but most of us are just going to be entirely dry until Tuesday morning. We're watching several rounds of showers and thunderstorms on Tuesday, but the later we get into the day on Tuesday, the stronger that those storms could be. Emphasis on the word could. It's not a slam dunk, but it is a first alert weather day because we do want to keep you weather aware and, of course, keep everyone safe. So Wednesday, thunder is possible. It's mainly going to be a rainmaker, and it's also going to be breezy with a high of 69 degrees that day. It's going to feel a little bit more like March than perhaps some of us would like. And then we bring in the weekend, Memorial Day weekend. It is just going to be a hair cooler than average, but it's not necessarily going to be cold, right? Maybe the mornings. I mean, look at that. We're waking up Friday morning in the mid 40s, so definitely jacket worthy, but you'll shed it in the afternoon. Have the shades at the ready. It's looking still like a beautiful weekend on tap. Looking dry, just not as toasty. Maybe not necessarily pool weather for Memorial Day. I know that's kind of unfortunate, but it will take it. After the active Friday we had, the active Tuesday that we have on tap as well, we will take this cooler than average Memorial Day. And this is just another way of showing you guys the same information I just told you, in which Memorial Day weekend is going to be cooler than normal. Not necessarily cold, but not normal. And normal for this time of year for Memorial Day weekend is going to be 76 to about 77 degrees. So maybe see those highs like that 70 forecast just showed you, around 70 degrees, maybe a bit cooler at times, maybe a bit warmer at times, but generally speaking, not pool weather. I know some people are going to try to jump in the pool. Be your guest. I'm not your mom, but just keep this in mind. You'll want to have the towel at the ready. And if you're thinking about having the pool open, you might not want to go through the trouble, right? I'm not a pool owner. I don't own a pool, so I don't know what it's like. And I don't know what your pool's like. But I am a meteorologist, and I do not want to be in a pool in temperatures in the upper 60s. So just keep checking back with us. But it's looking dry, it's looking sunny, just a little bit cooler than perhaps what some people would like for your Memorial Day. Okay, the time now is 6:11. I just touched on everything that I wanted to touch on, which was that first alert weather day, which is Tuesday. The rainmaker, that is Wednesday. It's also going to be a bit breezy. Keep that one in mind. And then we wrap up the work week, heading into Memorial Day weekend. Increasing sunshine, temperatures still a bit cooler, but not freezing. Not freezing, just maybe not pool weather. Not pool weather. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. All right, 6:11. I appreciate you guys tuning in this afternoon and evening. Definitely stay weather aware. Keep checking back with us on Tuesday and about Tuesday's forecast, because like I mentioned, and we will continue to mention, it's not a slam dunk, and we are still 48 hours out. It's more than likely going to change, or at least the details. We'll have a better idea of what the details and the timing will look like. But plan for the afternoon, evening, you might need to rearrange your plans. But until then, I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. I'm in Queensgate. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Have a great week ahead and enjoy your Memorial Day.